She's mediocre, really. Of all the ochres, she's the meatiest.
You are like a earlobe. You're just there, just wobbling.
You stuck-up, half-witted, scruffy-looking nerve herder.
Dirt-eating piece of slime, you scum-sucking pig, you son of a motherless goat.
You are a sad, strange little man.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
Oh, right! To call you stupid would be an insult to stupid people!
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
You look like a blueberry. It's the Sadie and Shawn Have No Friends podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the newest episode of Sadie and Shawn Have No Friends, brought to you by our... See, I say this every day, and I always listen back and think, well, that made no sense. But it's brought to you by our friends over at Tallent Co. Real Estate, where they're going to get you into a beautiful home that you love. Right, Shawn?
They are going to do that. They're going to get you into a home you love. They'll get you out of a home maybe that you don't love, or that's too small, or that has a ghost, or that your ex-wife graffitied.
Keep going. I love this. This is the best ad I've ever
I don't
heard.
know, whatever happened to your old house that you need to get out of. They'll get you out of that one too, and then they'll get you into a new house. Buying and selling houses is hard, but
Yes.
our friends at Tallent Co. Real Estate, Amy, her team, they take good care of you. They're the team we trust. We highly recommend them if you're in the real estate business, or you need to be in the real estate business. They'll help you out.
Yeah, and they also do stuff like they'll do staging, like seriously from start to finish. They are there and they're going to take care of you. So just go to homeandnoco.com. That's homeandnoco.com. And be sure to check out our social media, because every Friday I put up the home of the week, and it's brought to you again by Tallent Co. Real Estate. Shawn, you said you had something that you wanted to talk about.
Yeah,
So
I have another medical problem.
every
So
day
I don't know
I
why
need
I
your
don't know
help.
why I keep bringing up these stupid medical problems to you, because you're never any help, but I put them out there in the world, and I usually get like 3 or 4 of my friends that'll hit me up, or now friends, because they listen to the podcast, and they'll be like,
Yeah.
this is what you need to do. So today's is kind of gross, but we're honest on here, right? And so I have what I feel like is, I mean, pretty at this point in my life, in my mid 30s, I have pretty decent complexion, like skin complexion. I don't have a whole lot of acne problems. Every once in a while, I'll have a zit that pops up, right? The other
Mhm.
day, and usually when I have a zit that pops,
You froze. You froze. Shawn.
and then
Hang on.
so,
Wait.
yeah,
You froze. You froze for like half that story. I just heard that you have occasionally have a zit. So then you just
yeah, and
completely
don't
froze.
we
So
all,
now
right?
keep going. Yeah, go
Okay,
ahead.
so don't we all? Occasionally, we all have some. If I occasionally get a zit, usually it's like on my forehead or it's on my nose. Those are the 2 places where I would most commonly get one. Well,
Mhm.
the other day, all of a sudden, like my cheek started to feel like it was getting a zit, and I was like, "That's weird. I
Okay.
don't think I've ever even had a zit on my cheek before." And so then yesterday, it started to like really hurt, and so
Okay.
then I tried to like pop it because it was hurting, and so that, but nothing would
Then you
pop, nothing would
probably
come out.
irritated it.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
nothing came
then it,
out?
like overnight, I could not sleep last night because it's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Not this. I don't even know if it's a zit. That's what I'm getting. I don't know if it's an ingrown hair or a spider bite or something, but it's like to the point now where it's gotten so big, it truly feels like it's right on my cheekbone. It feels like somebody socked me in the cheek, and it's like affecting my sinuses even. Like it's getting up in there because it's like getting so
What?
inflamed, and it hurts
Well, you
bad.
gotta
Like
stop poking
you,
at
if
it.
you're
Like, you may have
watching
to
if you're watching, right,
nice
you
up.
can see, like, how inflamed this cheek is 3 times the size of this cheek.
Can I tell you something that when you did log on and I saw you for the first time, I was like, "Holy shit, what's going on with you? What are you going through puberty or something?" But you're saying that you don't even it's just a bump. I'd go get that checked out.
I mean, I think it's gonna go away, right? It's not it if it literally, it's one if it's one ingrown hair or one pimple. Have you ever had an ingrown hair on your ass? It kinda does the same thing, except for nobody can
Yeah,
see it
that's
because
true.
you put on some pants,
Is there a
and
place you can go other than like setting up an official appointment with a dermatologist that'll dig that shit out? Because I don't, I think you could go in and they'll find what's going on with your face. I know that my mind automatically goes to like a spider bite and then maybe egg
Yeah.
laying in your face.
I hope not. That would be
I'm
really
so sorry I'm
unfortunate.
laughing.
The eggs can't flourish in your face. They can't. So
Yeah, but
even if it put its eggs in there, like you're not going to grow spiders. They're not just going to all of a sudden start crawling out your eyes. You'll be all right. It's just going to hurt.
okay.
Like it hurts.
Well,
So
that might be
I
what's
actually
going
this
on.
morning I hate needles. I've told you this before. I'll pass out with needles, but it hurt so bad and it was so like it feels like there's so much pressure on it that I was like I got to find a needle in my house and I got to
And
like stick
pop
it in
it
there
like
and relieve some of the pressure. And I
did
couldn't
you
find a
not find
needle.
one?
No, couldn't find a
Oh,
needle.
Sean. This
And
is like the
so
most epic story ever. I did notice when you logged on. I'm like, Is this a filter? Are you off the filter? Because you're a filter person. Are you off the
no,
filter?
it's not that bad. It's like 14 zits on my cheek. It's one little
You
red bump.
literally just said your one cheek is 3 times bigger than your other
It
cheek.
is. Can you see that it's bigger?
I can just see a big red splotch. Again, we have a
Yeah.
YouTube channel where you can log on if you're just listening to this podcast style and you can see what we're talking about. But
Yeah,
to
it looks
explain it
like
to
one
people, it's
red
just
bump.
a big, yeah, it's just a big,
Can you
just
tell
a big
what
old
I'm
giant
asking you though, I
bump.
know you see the red bump. Can you see like the inflamed around it?
Mhm.
Like
I
my
could
whole
more
cheek
when you
being
first logged on. Your face was like red, and I thought, "Oh my
oh,
god." But
that's the
it's
lighting in here.
okay. Great. No, I think it'll be fine. Give it a couple days.
I'm not
Sean,
worried
I
about
don't know. I'm
let
not
me
a doctor.
let me be real with you. Like I wouldn't bring it up if I had a problem. You almost like you're trying to make me feel bad. Like, yeah, you got a big old zit on your face. You should cover it up or something. You should wear a mask and pretend like
Is
you
that
got the
supposed to be
flu.
me? Is
That's
that
what
me?
no, I don't care what it looks like. I'm more worried about it hurting. It hurts. I want it to go. I want the pain to go away. You keep talking about how it looks cosmetically. I just want it to go away. The pain.
You need to poke it. You should have stopped at the store on the way and bought some pins and just poke that bitch. Oh, I wonder what's in there.
Yeah,
Ugh.
if some juice comes out, sorry for the grossness, but I will pass out because I don't handle that well. And then I'll
Can I
have needles and it will probably poke in my eye and then I'll have bigger problems and it would be bad.
yeah, if something starts coming out of there, I don't know. I mean, it does look like regulation size of like a normal spider sack. So I just feel like if it's
But
going to be anything,
every time I've had a sorry again for being gross, but every time I've had a zit, like you try to pop it, it pops and it's over. Like I have squeezed this bitch hard and nothing will happen. It just gets bigger. It just pisses it off.
ew.
Yeah, it
I'm glad that we
sucks.
started with that. Thank you for sharing your story.
Maybe it's
And
that
can we
Shilajit
move
stuff.
on, or do you want?
Well, no, I have one more theory that I need to bring up. Remember, like 3 episodes ago, I was talking about my Tibetan resin?
Did you
Maybe
take
that
it?
no, I didn't. That can't be the problem. Kidding.
I
I'm
was
still
gonna
scared
say
to
that's
take it.
a very brave thing to do. You took it and now you have a giant growth on your face. That's messed up, dude. That's just I
There
just
goes
laugh at
that
the name.
endorsement.
Now wait, what was it called?
She legit. Why do
Just
you
the
think that's
name, I
funny?
would have been like, "No, this is a total con."
It's
She
not like
legit.
it's not like she's legit. It's not like that. It's like a Tibetan word and it's spelt funny. She legit.
And when you translate it, it means giant zit on your face forever because you took this.
No, I
What
didn't
is the
take it.
second thing you wanna talk about?
Shoot, I was so wrapped up in this, I forgot. Oh, you know what it was? I was gonna ask you
What?
because we're
Yeah.
recording this. We're always just real, like we're not trying to pretend that we're doing this in real time as you're listening to it, obviously. And so we're recording this on Friday, the 19th of April. So regardless of when you're listening to it, this is Friday, the 19th of April that Sadie and I are sitting talking. And tomorrow is 420, which is like the stoner holiday. It's stoner Christmas. And you are a self-proclaimed stoner over the last handful of years. So I'm curious, like, is that only a holiday? Because I've never been a stoner, so I don't know. Is it only a holiday for like the kids that are trying to be cool, or do stoners like you that are 40 celebrate?
I don't know, I've never celebrated it myself. It's much to me like Mother's Day or Valentine's Day. It should be a celebration every day, but, I've never done that because, I might be a stoner, but I'm not like a super smelly hippie stoner. And when I do see festivals and stuff, those are the people that go, where they like taught art class and they wear Hawaiian shirts and they dance
Dreadlocks,
funny. And yeah, sometimes.
lots of
And
dreadlocks.
I'm a little more mainstream, just kind of basic gal. And so I don't know. I've never celebrated that. That would be
Yeah,
weird
there's
if I did. If I was like, "Ryan, take Murphy for the day. It's 4:20. I'm gonna be down at the Chiba Hut all day." You know what I mean? Like, you really I don't know. You can't do it.
I don't even know what you do to celebrate it. It was a big deal before marijuana was legalized in Colorado, where people would go to Boulder and they would all gather in the park in
Yeah.
Boulder, and at 420 on 420, you would all light up, and it was just this big smoke out, and it was almost like like
Celebration?
no, not a
Joyous?
celebration. No, it was more like a protest, like saying, "Hey, we're not hurting anybody. Look at us. You
Yeah.
should legalize it." And now that
But
it's
I think
legal,
that
like, why all get together and celebrate? Because you can just smoke it in your basement.
I don't know, you can probably just get really good deals on the day at
Yeah,
different
does your weed shop
dispensaries.
does your weed
Mhm.
shop have a good deal that day?
I think so. I haven't really looked, but I would imagine that's gonna be a big day, but, no, I've never really done anything. It's kind of like St. Patrick's Day. I never really did much for St. Patrick's Day either, and so those kind of holidays were in a lot of ways, they're just kind of excuses to get shit-faced. I just think, why just put it down on 1 year? Every day could be 420.
There
It's
are different
not.
types. It is. When's the last day you didn't smoke pot?
Well,
A long time
I
ago when
wish
you
I could
can't.
edit this whole
Yeah.
conversation out. Well, I mean,
It's not there's still that preconceived notion from, like, people, especially older audience, like my grandpa, he just turned
yeah.
90 a couple of weeks ago. He'd be really disappointed if he listened. He's been long gone because we got
I
too
was
raunchy
gonna
for
say
him.
we
But
scared him off in
yeah,
episode
but he
2.
if he happened to still be listening, he would judge you because he's 90, and that generation looked
Yeah.
at marijuana differently than our generation that now understands it a little bit more looks at it. And so it's almost like you still have that preconceived notion in the back of your mind that I'm like, people are going to think I'm a heathen if I tell them I've smoked pot every day for months or years.
Well, but it's different because it's not like I go through the whole rigmarole of like packing a bowl and like I don't even know how to do any of that stuff. I mean, this is just, and please don't write and say I'm going to die because I just can't. But it's just, this sounds so garbage, but it's the vaping. Willie's Reserve has my heart, and so that's terrible, but for me
Why is
it's
it
just,
terrible? What's
well,
terrible
because
about it?
because I don't think you should have to rely on anything, and I think a lot of times I use it for, like if I know I'm going into a situation that I would feel awkward in, or that it's really helpful for that. For me, it helps me kind of like stop thinking about everything that could happen in
Yeah.
any situation. Like I have to drive to the Target down the road. It's a 5-minute drive, but oh my God, it's a lot of people on the road today and it's a little wet outside. And you know what? I'm just not going to go. And before you know it, I can go days without leaving my house. I don't like it. Ryan will be like, let's go to dinner somewhere. And I'm like, or we could order in. And
Is
I know
there
that's a problem.
is there negative side effects of it? Does it make you do anything that you don't like, or is it just like the
No,
perfect miracle cure for you?
no, no.
It's
And
all good.
when I was in my 30s, I would like, drink the wine and
Right.
have the margaritas. And that was a time where it was like, what did I do? What did I say? What did I do?
Yeah.
Did I take my top off? I mean, these are all things that I didn't it just got to a point where I'm like, I hate having to wonder, did I piss someone off? Did I say something that I don't even remember that I said? Did I tell something to somebody that I shouldn't have? It would just cause so much anxiety. And for me, marijuana is just kind of, it just calms me where I'm like, it's
And I
okay. It's going to be okay.
we've talked about this before, but for me, it's probably the wrong strain or whatever you guys call it, but as I dabbled in it once or twice in my day, every single time it either made me, like, super paranoid, or super hungry, or that there was negative that went along with any sort of positive that could come along. And so the negatives outweighed the positives. And I was just like, no, this isn't for me.
And I think a lot of people do that. I think a lot of people, their first time, they do it in a certain way where maybe they eat like an entire brownie and they shouldn't have had any of a brownie and or just maybe a little bit of the brownie, but they eat the whole thing and then they're like, never again. And then it's ruined for them. So that makes me sad because there are all different kinds of strains and there are all different kinds of, and I used to be kind of like embarrassed about it because of the stigma, but a neighbor the other day sent me a text and said, "Hey, they just had a party and they're like, we have all this beer left over. Do you guys want all of it?" And I'm like, "I just smoke pot, but thank you." And then I moved on and people don't even really bat an eye. It's like, "Okay, that's fine." But the thing about pot is you don't wake up the next day feeling like absolute shit garbage and you remember everything. I know everything that's going on. I'm just not thinking 10 steps ahead. I'm just kind of trying to be in the moment and it helps me with that.
Do
I
you
love
hide
it.
it from anyone? Is there anyone
Do
in
I
your life
hide
that would
it?
be is
No.
there anyone in your life that would be judgy if they knew, so you just don't tell them that you're a pothead?
No. I tell everybody. If well, I mean, it's not like I go out there and I have a Rastafarian flag on my car, you know?
I do, and
Like
I don't even smoke pot. That's the problem for me. We've talked about this before too, and I'm a country guy through and through. I love country music, but I love music, and my second favorite genre of music is reggae. And I would go to these reggae
no, you
concerts, and
love reggae.
I would be the only dude that goes to the reggae concert that's not extremely high and didn't have dreadlocks, and I'm like,
Well, no,
just look
you would
out of
be high.
place.
Just I mean, I've gone
Well,
to
secondhand
concerts
high, yeah.
where I have gotten secondhand high. I don't think I could get secondhand high anymore because my tolerance. But when I was like 17 going to a fucking Dave Matthews Band concert, I'm like, "What's there something cooking around here?" And,
Right.
Derg. But, I think it's a tool. I think that I'm not around anybody that judges me for it, and people that do fucking suck, and those are not my people.
Ah,
Because that's just the God honest truth. I know people who have cancer who have benefited from
yeah.
using it. I also come from a family where there's a lot of alcoholics. Alcoholism, it runs deep, brother. And so there's already kind of that and I've seen what alcohol will do to a person, their
Mhm.
body, how they physically will
Yeah, just
change.
like your face, talk about my zit, like, it jacks your
Yes.
face. You can tell an alcoholic instantly because of the way their face looks.
Right, and I mean, like, I've seen it in my family, and it's such a there's nothing about alcohol that you can look at and be like, "That's good for you." Now, listen, actually, that's wrong because it is an amazing social lubricant because I used to drink because, again, very uncomfortable being out of my bubble, and so that was always but it got to a point where I would have anxiety. Have you ever heard of that?
Mm-mm.
Certain people when they drink they get really bad panic attacks. It's called anxiety and the alcohol triggers something that you know makes you kind of spazzy, so the whole day after drinking I'm just dead. It's awful. And so that's my pitch to the world, to do drugs. Thanks for
It is
listening.
kinda funny, though. I mean, realistically, it's kinda funny that, like, the stigma just because of the way our society is it's cool to
Yeah.
drink. You should drink. Most people think, like, if you don't drink, you can get made fun of, like, peer pressure to made fun
Yeah.
of, but there's still a stigma on marijuana that is, if you smoke, and especially if you smoke often like you do, you're a pothead and you're a piece of shit, and it's weird. It's starting to go away,
Thanks,
but
John.
it's still there, right? It's
Yeah,
true, it's
well, I
something
mean,
you
I think so. I
somebody's gonna
also think
listen to this. Somebody's gonna listen to this and think less of you because you smoke pot. It's the
all
truth.
right.
The
That's
society we live in.
completely fine. I don't care about that because I don't care.
I'm not trying to make
Because
you
for
feel bad, I'm
me,
just saying that's how it is.
no, absolutely. But for me, this is what works for me. And for me, this seems like this is what helps me. And I think people, not to get deep or anything, but I just think it's human nature to just try to find things to make life easier. And so some people, for them, it's marijuana. And some people, sadly, it's much deadlier. It's like cocaine and
McDonald's.
heroin and Oh, see, I would say I do myself use food to like you know how I use food? I don't use food when I'm stressed because I can't eat when I'm stressed. I get nervous, but I will reward myself. If I go and return a library book, I am like, I think I
French
deserve some
fries.
French fries. And that's like,
What
see, so
happens
that's something that's a
if you
bad
ran a
habit I have.
mile if you ran a mile on the treadmill, you probably have, like, a full-on feast. You get the Big
I
Mac
know
and
I
the
would.
super
I'd be
size
like, I
fries.
earned this. Yeah, so I don't know. That's just how I feel. And that's another thing about marijuana. Some strains you will eat until you die. You'll just eat and eat and eat and eat and
Yeah,
eat,
that's the
and you'll
strains I had.
laugh. I've
I
never
had too. You're
yeah,
describing the strains that I've had,
yeah. So
and
I
I
need
didn't
to
like
like
that.
next time you come back into town, I need to have like a platter for you and just be like, try this one. Here's what's in it. I could be like a bud tender for you. Oh, ooh. Would that be
I
fun?
don't
Would you do
really
that?
like, I'm not a prude, but I don't really have any desire to I don't have social anxiety to the extent that you do where I need it for anything, and so I don't need it for anything. We talked about this in a previous episode, but I was I'm not addicted to them, but I was taking, over the counter sleeping tablets called Unisom. I was taking them every night because I don't stay asleep very well. I'm a good sleeper, but I don't stay asleep very well. If I didn't
Yeah.
take them, I wake up every single night, and I wake up at like 2 in the morning. My mind will be running 4,000,000 miles an hour, and I can't shut it off. So then I sit up for 2 hours, and then I'm lethargic the next day. And so, it was probably 4 months ago now. I don't know what clicked in me, but something clicked in me that I didn't wanna be reliant on this. And so it's so dumb that I take a pill before bed every night, and I slept perfect every night on those things, by the way. But I also had like drowsiness the next day because of them. And so 4 months ago, I just cold turkeyed it. I was like, nope, not relying on those anymore. And I have not had a full night, 8 to 10 hours of sleep without waking up since I quit. But I have not went back to it. I'm proud of myself
So
because I
what's
have
okay, I know Unisom, it's again over the counter,
yeah,
it's like it's pretty it's like baby aspirin. So what would it
it's
hurt
the
if it
same
would give
stuff.
you a good night's sleep?
I don't know. I didn't wanna be reliant
Because
on
I
it, and
think
it was a stranglehold on me. There was when I was in the middle of taking these every night, truly, like, I wouldn't realize that my bottle was empty and I didn't have any, and I would freak out, like, "Shit, I won't be able to
oh,
sleep tonight. I
really?
have to sleep tonight. I gotta go to Walgreens. I gotta get some." It just it felt like it had a grip on me, and, again, it's not like a natural substance that's found in the Tibetan mountains that God put on this earth to try to heal us or something. It's a chemical that somebody made in a lab that knocks your ass out.
I know.
It can't be good for you. Maybe it doesn't it's not bad for you, but it can't be good for you to knock yourself out. And I know that it does jack with your sleep cycle. That's one thing that people have said is exactly that. You take this, your body becomes reliant on it, and then you get off of it, you can't sleep anymore. I
Yeah,
I tell you this, I since I haven't taken it, I feel
okay.
so much better the next day, which is so wild, but
Which is
I
weird
I
because 'cause you're
haven't
up at
yeah,
night now.
haven't gotten a single good night of sleep since, and the day after, I still feel 20,000 times better without this stuff. I didn't for
Well, then
it made me
that's it.
sick.
It's yeah.
It made
Then
me
you have your answer.
I had the flu. I had withdrawals from this for 3 days after I quit taking it, like, I was full on sick. It was
On
either a
Unisom?
coincidence it was either a coincidence that and now you gotta remember this was like 2 years every single night. My body was used to something like this.
Yeah,
It
but
says
Unisom
non-habit forming
isn't
on the
addictive.
bottle. It says right on the bottle, non-habit forming. But
Yeah, if that's
what does that mean? What does non-habit forming mean? Because I had a full-on habit.
well, but I think maybe I think that was more of a psychological thing because A,
Maybe
you're
yeah, oh,
saying
for
that
sure.
yeah, it was psychological that you had to have it. I think your body wasn't, like, craving it. Now here's where I am an addict, and it's been, like, 20 years, and do not write and say my nose is gonna fall off because I can't handle that I just
Cocaine.
I no, I Damn, it did sound like nose nachos for a minute. No. I'm not talking about cocaine, folks. I'm talking about Afrin. Now, that's a full-on addiction where if you use Afrin, you become addicted in like 2 days. They're like, if you use it any longer. So what happens is then your nose like needs the Afrin.
Can you
And
tell me what
it's
Afrin is? Hold on, because I
so
really don't
Afrin is
know.
the spray that you put up your nose, and there's a couple different kinds. There's like a saline spray, and then there's Afrin, and Afrin is addictive. But
What
what
is it
happens
though?
is
Why? Well, you just squirt it up your nose for no reason?
no, if you get a stuffy nose. So
Oh,
years ago, I had a really bad cold, and if I have a stuffy nose, I can't sleep. I am like a baby. I can't sleep, and I'm miserable, and I think I can't breathe, and I mean, it's stupid, but and then I found Afrin, and I got so addicted that I still have purse Afrin, and I have car Afrin. I have downstairs Afrin, basement Afrin, bed Afrin. And you know what sucks? The cost of Afrin has really skyrocketed in the past 20 years of me using it because it's like $14 a bottle.
is
It's
it over the
insane, but they
counter?
know they got us on the hook and addicted. Hmm?
Is it over the counter?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You can
I
just
actually
go to
found some at
Walgreens
the
and grab
dollar
some?
store, and I was like, this
Yeah,
this
you
probably
probably shouldn't
can't
shoot
be.
that up your nose.
Oh, sure. I did. I did, though. I didn't even think about it. I'm like, "Shit, if I can get Afrin knockoff dollar store for then I'm gonna do it," and it seemed to work fine. It burned a little more than the other kind, than the name brand.
Ever since then, that's when Sadie's been missing, like, every episode, as we brought up before, she has this one moment where she's like, "Shoot, forgot what I was saying," right in the middle of saying
I
whatever she
do.
was saying.
It's because of
I think
dollar
it's the
store
dollar store
Afrin.
Afrin. Amen. But what I'm
Okay,
still
so
confused by Afrin, though. I'm intrigued by this whole thing. It what do you feel like if you don't have it? You feel
your
stuffy?
nose closes up. Your
Oh,
nose closes up, and it takes a while. Depending on how long I think you've been taking it, it takes a while to get off of it. And so you have to go cold turkey. That's the only way. And
yeah.
I just can't do it. I can't. I've tried and I'll make it like 2 days, but you are completely clogged. And I used to really worry, oh my God. And then one day I was like, fuck it. If this is the worst thing that I do in my life,
Yeah.
then it's fine. And then you use Afrin and it clears it up. It's bad. It's a train that I'm on and I can't get off. So I'm going to ride that bitch off the tracks. You know,
Speaking of
when I die on my night table, there will be Afrin.
From there, yeah, maybe they'll
Yeah,
bury you with a bottle just in case you're
I
not
would
all the
like
way dead
that.
and you wake yeah.
Oh,
I've been sniffing some stuff too. I
cocaine.
no,
Okay.
um,
Just making sure.
remember we did an episode where I talked about smelling salts when I thought these dudes from the Colorado Eagles
Oh,
hockey team were doing
yeah.
smelling salts, and I thought it was cocaine, and they, like, passed it to me, so I
And you
well
did it?
I did the smelling salt, yeah, but, after we did that episode, I had a friend who reached out and he was like, "Dude, there's a new version of smelling salts that are less harsh because smelling salt smells like pure, ammonia." That's what it doesn't smell like salt,
Okay.
it smells like ammonia,
And
and
smelling salts
so
to explain, you sniff it and it's supposed to make you like
yeah, just
zing.
yeah, it wakes you up. It wakes your mind and clears you, and like you're supposed to be more clear-headed after you do it. A lot of sports athletes do it,
Okay.
but this friend reached out and he was like, "Dude, there's a new version of smelling salts that you can get in the grocery store. I have one. I'll give it to you. I'll see you this weekend." And I saw him, and so he gave it to me. What it is it's Vicks, like the vapor rub,
Yeah.
but it's in a
Yeah.
smelly. It's in a tube, and it's got a hole, and you close one nostril, you stick it in the other nostril, and you and it just it's Vicks, and so it opens you
So
up, and
did you do it and was it
I do it
cool?
every morning now, and I don't know why, but it feels good, like, it's, like, almost orgasmic, I love it, and
Oh,
so
here I go.
Boone also
It's
wants to try
orgasmic?
yeah, not that, but it's on the same lines as cleaning out your ears, like, it just feels good, like, it opens everything, like you said, but it's just Vicks, you're just smelling it, you're just smelling Vicks. I guess I could get a bottle of Vicks and open it and just sniff it too, and it would probably have the same purpose, but I love it,
Shannon's
and
like,
so I
"What
made
happened to the man I married?"
well, now Boone's on it too. He's 5, and he comes in the
Oh,
bathroom with me every morning because he's my little guy, and he follows me everywhere, and he always wants deodorant and cologne, and now he wants the Vicks thing,
oh.
and so I've been letting him do it, and my little thing when I do it is I'll, "Woo!" And now he does it every morning. He takes a big old hit of it and woo at 5.
Okay,
And I
but
don't know.
wait, is he old enough to be doing
I don't
this?
know. I haven't read the thing, so please don't
Well,
call
can I
child
tell you
protective
something
services
funny that
on me.
Ryan said to me yesterday? He came
Fixed.
upstairs. He came upstairs and he goes, "For the past 3 days, Shawn has admitted to a crime." I know, you gotta stop doing
What were
that.
they?
Stop it.
What were they though?
Well, the one was where
Cheating
you
on the
said you didn't pay
taxes.
your tax, and
Yeah,
then
what
the
else?
other one was, oh, what was it yesterday? Which would have been Friday. Oh
Oh, I
my
forged
god, it was
somebody's signature.
that's right.
That's only 2.
Yeah, you did. He's like, "Really? He should stop it." Well, today, now you're saying you're giving your kids smelling salts. So, I don't know, that might be 3, it might not. I may be overreacting. Um, what do you think? Should we keep going? Or are
No,
we
I think
done?
we should wrap it up for today. Yeah, that's good. We
That's
don't I
good
mean,
enough,
unless
as
you have
Shawn
any more
says.
pretty much today's episode has been hijacked by our drug use, whether it be illegal
We're pretty
drugs,
hardcore.
recreational drugs, drugs over the counter that are supposed to help you with something that we just got addicted to, and now smelling salts that I give to my 5-year-old. Is there anything else that you take that you would like to discuss? Or
No, that's as hard as I go, and it's
I
hard.
will say
I
I got one more thing. I got one more thing I'll throw out there.
Okay.
So, since we started the podcast, it was almost like in line with it. There was a parallel line. I started trying to be healthier and working out and running, and we talked a lot about me running on the treadmill. But I
Yeah.
like plateaued. I wasn't losing any more weight, it's specifically like belly weight. And so, I fit in my jeans now, which was always the goal, but you always want more, right? It's like money. It's like I
You
got a
do.
lot
A
of money,
gal
but I want a
always
little
wants
bit
more.
more. I just want a little
Yeah.
bit more. And so my goal was to always I'm going to run until I can fit in my jeans. I fit in my jeans fine now, but I still got just a little bit of flab on my belly and I just want to get rid of it. And I work hard like at working out and the flab won't go away. So I bought not just the She Legit Tibetan mountain pills that I haven't taken anyway,
Shit, what
but
the
I
what did
also
you
bought
buy?
I bought this stuff. It's called Animal Cuts, and what it is, it's supposed to be like a help you lose fat, and it's from a like bodybuilding workout place. And I thought the way that it read, it was one pill and you take it every morning and it's got like caffeine in it and other it's all natural stuff like things apple cider vinegar and all sorts of things that are supposed to help you lose fat. Um I get it. It's these little it's a jar and inside the jar is these little packets and inside each packet 9 pills. I actually have one right now. I got one.
So wait, are you supposed to
If you're
take
watching
9?
the
Are you
YouTube
supposed to
channel,
Oh, I
that's the
have
one pack.
seen
So in the morning, you take one with breakfast right when you eat, and then you take another one at lunchtime. And there's like a million grams of caffeine in it. It's got all sorts of stuff, but it's
How did
9
you
pills. And I'm like, man, every day, and I'm taking 9. All of a sudden, I was going from no pills to now 9 pills.
9 pills. Are you sure that that's, like, safe?
It's not
Or is this
FDA
another
approved.
Facebook because I'm like, they could put anything in those caplets or capsules or whatever.
One of them, I
I don't
think
know,
it's the
those look
yellow
pretty
one.
giant and
One of them,
suspicious.
one of them smells like mustard, and when you swallow it and like I burp later, it tastes like mustard, and I hate mustard, so it's gross. These are probably what gave me the growth tumor on my
Fix it.
face.
How long have you been taking those mystery
This is
pills?
this is Friday. This is my first week. Today will be the 5th day.
Okay,
So
well,
that's
we'll
all I
see how
got for
long you
drugs.
last.
Yeah, I might be
I
jacked soon.
know. Really, if or dead, if you think about it, we're pretty, like, tame. I mean,
Yeah.
I've never really tried anything hardcore. I just haven't. Someone offered me cocaine once and I got scared and left the
I did too, and
restaurant.
I still think of that person. I know the person that offered me cocaine. I still look at him different to this
Do
day, and
I
that
know
was
the
15
person?
years ago. No, it was a bowling guy.
Oh,
15 years
I've
later, and I still see him, and I'm like, "Ah, cocaine. He offered me cocaine. You're a piece of shit."
ask knows nachos.
That's the only
We
hard
just
drug though, honestly, I've ever been offered. I actually my one of my best friends growing up though was a pothead, and
yeah.
he would always offer me he was a little bit older than me, 6 or 7 years, and he would always offer me weed, and I would always say no. I thought it was bad, and so I wouldn't even smoke it with him. And there was one time where he had snacks, and he said, "You don't get any of these snacks unless you smoke some weed with me," and I wouldn't
And
do it,
Shawn
and
was
he
hungry.
I wanted the snacks so bad. I thought about it, but I didn't do it.
You didn't? Oh
Nope,
my god, so the
I
dare
didn't smoke
training
I
for
didn't
Nancy
smoke pot
Reagan
until
worked?
after high school, probably.
I remember we were at an event together and someone offered us pot and you did it, but I didn't because I didn't know the person. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know you. I'm very fickle and particular. And
Somebody
you
gave
were
me
just like,
acid at
yeah,
a
all
double
right.
wide stage. You took it?
Hmm.
You
No, I
took it?
didn't take it. You
Oh,
took it.
I didn't take it.
Oh, yes, you did. We were at an event and
I
someone
wouldn't do
offered you
that.
marijuana.
Oh, I might have taken it. I didn't do anything with it, but throw it away. I would never.
If you're not watching the YouTube channel, I just winked at him.
I wouldn't. I know me
I
too
could tell
well.
you the exact event that we were at.
Tell me. I
I
really
don't know
don't
if I
remember
wanna
this.
get
Please tell
anyone
me.
in trouble.
Just tell me the event. You don't have to say the person.
It was an event for a band, and the band was made up for 3 people, and we went to
DC
this,
Top?
like, barn. Stop guessing. We went to this barn in Denver where they did, like, a lunch thing, and then they did
Oh,
a sh they
yeah. The band
sang. Yeah.
Perry and the dude, the gay one from the band
Oh,
Perry
okay.
kept asking me if I was circumcised. I remember that.
Okay. Listen, I went to the salon yesterday, Cristiana Salon and Spa to get my hair done, and I was like, I have never seen anyone get hit on more than Shawn, which is so weird because I don't see it myself, no offense, but to me, you're like a brother where I'm like, "What?" He's flipping me off. Um, but I do remember that day, that guy was really into hanging out with you. I don't wanna go and say that he wanted to make love to you, but
He
I
did.
will
He
say
was
that he
talking about
followed
my
you like
wiener.
a fucking puppy.
That's when the
Yeah,
band
but you
Perry was
can't out
popular too.
someone. You
They
can't
were
do that.
they were making money, so if I was ever gonna turn to the dark side, it would have been that day. I would have let that dude have all the advantage of me, but I would want some of his money, and I didn't, so you know I'm straight. Thank you, have a good day.
Shawn, your
This show's
morals are
over.
on point.
This
Oh
show's over.
god. Goodbye.
Alright, we're done. Do
Oh,
we
wait,
have
no. Really quick, goodbye to Christiana Salon. Well, not goodbye. I hope they don't say goodbye. Thank you to Christiana Salon and Spa. Be sure to stop in there. They're located in Johnstown, right by Shields. And you can tell them Sadie and Shawn have no friends for 10% off, whether you get a massage or whether you get your hair done, your nails, whatever it is. Just go and see our friends at Christiana Salon and Spa. And always a big thank you to Talent Co Real Estate. And Shawn, he's getting fidgety. So I will see you tomorrow.